was asked the other day how I made the decision to move to a new city, and that made me realize that many years I had that question also. I made that question to myself, like, how do you know? Like, when do you know it's time to move to a new place? How do you choose the place? How do you make that decision? So I thought it was going to be helpful, not only for the person I'm answering the question, but maybe for other people that might be asking that question to themselves right now. How do you choose that place? How do they know when is the right time? And what I'm going to explain, of course, was the method, the way I did it. But I want to say that it might not be the method that works for everyone. I am a person that, in the moment, the phase I am in my life, I decided to follow my intuition. I used to be a big planner and a little bit of a perfectionist, and that just wasn't working for me. So I decided to stop being a perfectionist. I decided to stop planning, and I decided to just follow my intuition, go with the flow, grounded very well in my authenticity, in what I am what I truly am, and from there just make the decisions I need to make in my life. So that means that it requires that you stop listening to what everyone recommends you to do. It requires that you go inside. So it requires that you, if you already have a practice of meditation, of connecting with yourself, that would be awesome. If you are new to have any kind of these practices, that's fine. It's not like a hard thing to do. You just need to find time to spend time with yourself, to reflect about what you really want, what really makes you excited, what brings out the best of you. Welcome back to another video. My name is Melisa, and for the ones that have been following my channel, you probably know I'm starting a business guided by my intuition. I moved a few months ago to a new city. Super excited and super happy to share with everyone the way I've been operating, the way I've been making decisions in my life, and the way I made this decision of moving to a new city. The first thing I recommend you to do, if you already have done this, amazing. For the ones that are new to do this kind of work, it is so exciting. It is so beautiful. It's not only going to help you to make this big decision you're trying to make in your life, but it's also going to set up a foundation for you to start living life way more authentic, a life that is truly yours, a life that is not influenced by what other people say or think. So the first thing I invite you to do is to meditate, reflect about who authentically you are. And I want to say, in my other videos I shared that I play around with human design and astrology. They are two tools that have been super helpful for me. I don't obsess about it. My way of approach astrology and human design at this point in my life is very light. It's the same way I've been doing life. It's very intuitive. So I don't overdo it as I used to do. I used to listen to old podcasts. I used to have multiple apps that will tell me everything that was going to happen in my life. And right now, the way I use it, the way I do it, the way I interact with human design and astrology is just I let it come to me. So when we are making these kind of big decisions, when we are soul searching, when we are going inwards, when we are navigating that inner world, I would say it is good. It is a moment where these tools can give you some guidance. My recommendation is just don't overdo it. Just listen once, be present in the moment you are listening, you are reading, you're exploring with these tools, and just let it go. And whatever stayed, it stayed. It was for you, it was meant for you to receive that information. So I'm gonna show you in the video, I'm gonna link a little clip of the human design app that I use, the person I follow, and how in that app you can find out about the places that brings out the best of you. That's human design. And with astrology, the way I would do it is I would take your main energies. I think they talk about 6 placements being your main energies. You can just go with the first 3, your sun, rising, and moon. In my case, my sun is Pisces, and I have a lot of Pisces in my chart. My rising is Aries, and my moon is Taurus. Okay, so if you take those 3, what you can tell of those 3 energies, if you're new to astrology, ChatGPT is my best friend. I hope it's your best friend, or it becomes your best friend too. You can just ask, what are the main aspects, main characteristics of these 3 energies? So I'll share about mine. My Pisces is a water sign, and it's all about spirituality, a connection with everything, the subconscious, connectivity especially. That's some of the main energies that I feel. Aries is a very active, it's an entrepreneur energy. It's a doer. It's a more than a doer, it's a let's do it energy. It's an action energy. Part of my personality, I think I'm a very active person. I love working out, I love movement, I love riding bicycles, being active, doing yoga. And Taurus, it's all about pleasures and nature. So for me, the way I use astrology to narrow down the place I wanted to live was understanding that, one, being close to water was going to be nice. I already know, from living at places that were close to the water, how I feel. Like watching a sunset on the beach, a sunrise or a sunset on the beach is something that gives me a lot of peace, and I just feel really good. So water was important, a place where I could exercise, do physical activities, and a place definitely, because water can be rivers too, right? Or can be lakes. It doesn't have to be the beach. So for my moon in Taurus, I knew it needed to be in nature. Like water can be a swimming pool as well, right? So nature, places where I could be active and near to the water. By doing this little research with human design and astrology, you're already going to start having a lot of understanding on what are those places that really make you feel good. And I would meditate on this other question. What right now in your life brings out the best of you? And try to think about values. In my case, I am, mid-30s. You might be in your early 20s, in your 40s. I don't know how old you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. But what is important for you? For me, I am in a place where I want peace. And I start describing that. What does that mean? What does that look like? Like for me, waking up to watch the sunrise, that gives me a lot of peace. So that was a non-negotiable for me. The third question I invite you to meditate, reflect on, it's to take note of those things that you are working on long term. You are working on creating a family, if you're in a relationship, or even if you're not in a relationship, what's your vision in life at the moment? What are those things that you are working on? You are becoming an entrepreneur, you want to make a career change, because that's a big piece that we need to take care of in this decision. In my case, I knew I wanted to start a business again, as I've been sharing in my channel, guided by my intuition. So I knew feelings, and I knew some aspects, characteristics, but I didn't quite sure how the business was going to look like. I'm letting life to guide me there. So I knew it was related to spirituality. So I knew I needed to be surrounded by people, places, activities, where I could connect with that. So yoga, wellness studios, wellness events, people that are in that environment. If you are, and I want to say with this, like, it doesn't have to be like the place has everything, but think of this as maybe a place that can be the bridge to that thing that you're working on in the future. It can be a bridge for that vision you are working on. If it's a long term, like it doesn't have, if you want to build a family, let's say that maybe you don't need to leave right now. If you're planning on creating a family in the next 5 to 10 years, you don't have to live right now in a place that has everything that you need to create a family, right? But think of those elements that can support that vision that you're working on. The next thing, the very exciting thing that I invite you to do is to start exploring the place. You know, like after having all this understanding of the things that you are, that bring out the best of you, the things that support the vision you are working on, you probably have a little list of places, a few options of places that can be the ones. So now it's time to, little wind. Now it's time to explore. So depending on how easy it is for you, if you can take time and spend a couple of weeks, a whole month at these places, amazing. Don't feel like that's the only way to do it. You can just use Google. Internet is the best thing that we have these days. So just Google it, start navigating into those places, start, researching what are the neighborhoods that, have the things that you would like to experience, the little list that you have. Start asking friends, if maybe you have friends that live there, how is it like living there? And I would also recommend you to pay attention to who you ask for recommendations. Do a filter, just listen to the things that really resonate, because everyone, this is something very important that you want to know, everyone experiences places, cities in very different ways. What I think is that it has to do with the associations we have about the environment, the places, the beliefs we established. Like a lot of people think that Miami is a place where you can, where you only just party and drink and do all the crazy things, and that's not how I'm experiencing it. So pay attention to who you ask for advice for, and do your filter. Taking what it works, what serves you, and just ignore what doesn't serve you. So after exploring the place, getting a feeling why I did the way I recommend everyone to do it, but of course, you can also create your own way. I love these streets. You can create your own way of doing my process. You feel inspired. If you feel inspired by what I'm saying, you can just take whatever works and just change it, adjust it. But what I did was traveling very light. You can put things in storage, you can do your own version, but I didn't want to commit since the beginning to one place. That gave me a lot of freedom, that removed some pressure on deciding that right away that I needed to live in one neighborhood. So there are ways how you can do that. Like in a lot of places exist the modality that you can rent places, you know, like Airbnb or like month-to-month commitments. If you have friends, you can stay with friends at least for a month or two. I would recommend. Do not commit since the beginning to one neighborhood. Experience the place, explore the place, at least without the commitment, for a month or two. And what I invite you to do too is just to immerse yourself in that city for those couple of months, or for the time that you decide that you want to do it. Ask questions, you know, discover the place, be explorer, go on the streets and meet people. It's like the feeling of being new to a city. It's so great. No one knows you. You can just, yeah, it's just being a tourist. It's so liberating. It's so freeing. It's wonderful. So you get to do and be whoever you want for a little bit, or for the rest of your life, whatever you want to do. So just meet people and ask questions, you know, again, with a filter, you know, take in whatever serves, what doesn't serve, ignore it. But yeah, let that energy, like what I want to involve a little bit the spiritual aspect, because this is a very spiritual way of making decisions, guided by your intuition. Your intuition is that is that force of, you know, that intelligence that created us, like God, universe, name it the way you want. But the energy we create, when we connect to that energy, when we let that energy guide us and be the thing that is telling us what to do. So that's what I'm suggesting, that you take time, you know, that you do not commit since the beginning to one same thing, that you are just like in this unknown space, just letting those gut feelings to tell you, okay, this is the right person, this is the right neighborhood, this is the right time. So I hope this is making sense. This is how I did it. I've been enjoying so much. I've been surprised in so many crazy ways. I stayed the first month with friends. The second month, it felt like, if you are into manifestation, it felt like a manifestation. I knew the feeling. I knew how I wanted to feel after doing this same exercise in the place I wanted to live. And when I found the place I live now, it had a lot of those feelings. Right away, I knew, I was like, yes. And little by little, the more I discovered the place, the more I explored the neighborhood, the more surprised I've been feeling, because it just has a lot of the things that my astrology and my human design describe about my energy and what makes me feel good. So I think that's why I was inspired today to record this video. I'm coming from a beautiful park near my house, and I'm like, this is exactly what gives me peace. And this is exactly how I like to feel. This is what makes me happy, what brings out the best of me. So I am super grateful. And I just wanted to share with the world, if you are in that place, you know, trying to make that decision about the next place you want to live, this is how I did it. This is how I'm enjoying life, and just feeling super grateful every day I wake up. So I wish you the best. If you would like to share your experience, your process, I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, until my next video, peace and love.